video finds you happy, healthy, and safe. If you're new here, my name is Rhonda with Rhonda's Craft Frenzy. I really appreciate you spending your time here with me today, so thank you so much for that. Today I'm going to show you how I put together these 3 rustic Easter DIYs for you to share throughout the whole season. Let's not waste any more time. I'll beat you to the craft table. I start this one out with the plastic tinsel basket from Dollar Tree. I remove the eggs and the tinsel from it. I also remove the back of the basket. I took this twine that I found at Walmart and I started wrapping it. I started from the bottom of the basket and went up about an inch. I used hot glue to secure it here and there. Once I had that part done, I used regular jute string to wrap the middle part. And this I went up about 2 inches, and then I finished it off with the lighter color. I finished off wrapping the darker color around the handle, and then I made a cute little bow with that lighter color and glued it right on the front of my basket. I used this frame and I used a piece of scrapbook paper. I cut it out to the size. I glued it to that cardboard piece on the back and replaced the glass back into the frame. I then filled it with eggs, and for this I used hot glue. I used eggs that were left over from a previous DIY where I painted and speckled them. And if that's something you'd want to see, look at my previous video and I have all the instructions there. The last thing I did was use these stickers to spell out Happy Easter. Any kind you have will work. These I had in my stash. I just glued them to the glass. I glued the basket to it and it was finished. I think it's super cute and I hope you do too. For my second DIY, I started out with this cute little bunny sign. I traced out that bunny again on my scrapbook paper. I'm so in love with this booklet. It's all wood grains and I got it from Amazon. I then used a glue stick to attach it to my bunny and added a coat of Mod Podge over it just for a little bit more protection. I used scrapbook paper as well for these carrots that came with the sign, but I painted the stems with Waverly's moss colored. I glued the paper on it after that was dry. I used letters from these rub-on transfers that I found at the Dollar Tree. I spelt out Happy Easter and I placed them on the carrots. I Mod Podged over these two pieces and added jute string to the back with hot glue, and my bunny sign was done. I think he's super adorable and I hope you guys like him. For my final DIY, I used a small shadow box. I had an idea that I could use this as a base of a lantern. I removed the base and sanded it. I cut it out and glued a piece of scrapbook paper over it. The next thing I did was use this fence that I got at Dollar Tree to make some walls. I cut out 4 of those sections. It wasn't hard, I just had to use scissors for it. I cut the legs off and I cut all the tabs that were sticking off the ends as well. Then I spray painted them with this ultra white matte paint from Rust-Oleum, and I used 2 coats. Once that was dry, I started my assembly. And for this, I used hot glue and E6000. I just put the hot glue and the E6000 on each one of those corners, and I let that sit for a couple of hours to cure. So at this point, I really didn't like the way those corners looked with that hot glue. So I hid it. I used flowers from the Dollar Tree. I wrapped them around each one of those corners using hot glue here and there to hold them in place. I took my base and I laid it face down because it fit much better like that. I used a galvanized bunny from a sign that I got from the Dollar Tree. I added some picks and put the lantern on top, and this was done. I think it's so pretty, so versatile, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I appreciate you spending your time here with me, and I hope you found some inspiration in my video. Please consider subscribing to my channel. If you saw something you like, hit that thumbs up button, and don't be shy with your comments. I really hope to see you next time, and until then, keep those glue guns at the ready.